It's Saturday morning. I've had 17 hours sleep in the first 20 hours of being here. I feel quite a lot better. This is Lake Maggiore or Maggiore, not sure. It's like a little private jetty thing here, but look. These willow trees get everywhere, completely spoiling the view. See a little island over there. But yeah, you'd see right along this. I don't know, is it called a coast if it's a river? I'm not sure. But it's so still. It's like a little wheel over there as well. A mini London Eye. Yeah, we're going to go up now and explore the village. But first you can have a look at the combine service yesterday. Just going to show you a little bit of this from the combine service. So the auger's out, we're testing that, calibrating the spout. Just like a Swiss watch, belts and pulleys and everything. Check everything's running up, nothing's squeaking, everything's adjusted correctly. There's the sieves there, shaking. They obviously shake a lot faster when the machine's running flat out, and that's what sorts the wheat from the chaff. There's the rotors turning up there. That's what does a secondary thrashing. And then these are straw spreaders or chaff spreaders. So we spread the chaff out of these ones here. Here the wind, and then when we're chopping straw, they spread the straw, and then the chaff goes in with them as well. This is the fuel tank, the AdBlue tank is behind there. These are the main drive pulleys. They go in and out to control the speed. So a little pulley at the moment driving a big pulley will give a slow speed. Put it the other way around, so it's a big pulley driving a small pulley, and that'll go fast. Does that by a hydraulic ram inside that spring, changing the size of the pulley. This takes a clean grain to the top. And this elevator takes anything that's not meeting spec back through the thrashing system, which is obviously behind here, driven by this massive pulley. You got the APS here that starts to thresh it, then the main thresh, and then there's another pulley in there that splits into two rows to put it into the rotors. On the top there, you've got a fan sucking air from above where it's the cleanest and blowing the heat out the radiator and exhaust it down the side of the machine in like a curtain, to keep the dust out of the machine and keep the machine cleaner. This is obviously the header, so this is now getting PDI'd. All these plastic fingers have been set up now because they were all folded up for transport. These are the sensing bands, so when you operate them, it makes the header flick up or down. So I'm just checking that now. It's 41 foot, so the idea is it's 12.3 metres. You run it at 12 metres all the time. But you've got an extra foot of overlap, because if you imagine a tall prop can sway in the wind or be laid. There's the auger there, that's 12 metres from the centre of the machine, so that when you go up and down the field you can run the tractors and trailers exactly in the same wheel marks that the combine made and the drill made and the sprayer made. It's a class Combio flex header, which means it can flex. So underneath here you've got all these green sort of triangles. There's rams inside them that are pressured by hydraulics, and you can set it so it'll float and follow the floor just like piano keys upside down, and actually run it on these plastic skids for like laid crops. On the top there you've got the grain tank. That will hold around 10 tonne of wheat and beans, a little bit less of barley because it's not quite as dense. And the same with OSR as well, about 8 or 9 tonnes of that. You see an air tank there, that's because it's got an air line on it. It doesn't need it for its braking system. You all need to retract this air line here and use it to clean the machine off the green field and different crops. But yeah, that is about it really. These steps as well, the for access to the engine and to fill it up with diesel. But they actually unclip, and the machine has rails at the right height all the way around the machine to hook that on to get up to do any maintenance and any greasing and things like that. This here is an exhaust, so that will suck dust and debris out of the header. When the crops coming through, it can get quite dusty. That will hoover that up and then blow it down on the floor. It's a bit quieter now, the engine's shut off. You've got these wheels as well on the header. If you're in like really rough ground, they can hit the floor, just stop the ends diving in. These are crop lifters, so you can put them on the front to scoop underneath laid crops. Don't think I'll ever need them with this header though, the way it goes. These are oil tanks as well, for the oil that the header uses. The header's just attaches from one side. I'll go around and show you. At the moment it's running off this as well. Hopefully we'll use it all harvest and see, compare it to other machines. James is playing on his skateboard. Yeah, when you put the header on, you got this one handle here that clicks down, puts this pin in, and it also has a linkage going through the frame that puts a pin in from the other direction. Put this power shaft drive on here, PTO, just a little button to unclip it there. And then that, like a multi-dock, so that's got in it 2 different hydraulic supplies, and then an electric cable with a big plug in the middle, which controls all the electrics, because you've got lots of electrics on the header, all the different settings and things like that. Then obviously that's then driving this hydraulic pump, which is driving another shaft, which drives the auger in the centre. Then that drives the conveyor belts. Another hydraulic reservoir on here, that's think for the side knives, because when you're cutting OSR you can put a side knife on it, which is basically one of them vertical up here that chops the OSR because it's all tangled like a bush. These belts here turn, so they're on the top, and they convey the material to the middle of the machine, and then it gobbles it up in the centre there through that auger and into the thresher system. So you've got belts coming sideways, one there, and then this belt then goes that way and takes it inside. There's also like a stone protection sort of lump that grabs it, so if any stones come over the knife, they land in this middle well here before the belt grabs it and takes it inside. Then obviously the reel combs the material in over the knife and just keeps it moving. They're plastic, so because the header can flex so much, what you don't want to do is catch one of them tines with a knife, because it'll snap a knife section. So instead, the plastics, if it does catch it, it won't damage anything. So flex headers all seem to have plastic fingers on the reels nowadays. This crate's come with it. This attaches to the header trailer, and this has got all the side knives in. So these are these things that go up and down on the sides of the blades, similar to the cutter bar. So I'm going to bolt this crate to the side and put them on, and then this is obviously the header trailer, or the trolley, whatever you want to call it. It's got 4-wheel braking driven by like overrun brakes, so when you slam on, the drawbar activates these brakes to all the wheels, and it's also got a steering rear axle and a steering front axle, which is connected by this long rod right the way down to the front here. So when you go around the bend and the drawbar turns here, it then pulls these wishbones round, these steering arms, makes these pivot on this axle here, which then pulls this rod to that one and turns the back wheels round as well, so it can steer in bends. So when they go left, they also kick out and it throws the back end round, so it doesn't cut the corner, because the gap between the axles is so long. It must be like 30 foot. You don't tow it with a combine anymore, it's just far too long. We just tow it with a tractor nowadays. Why is that? There we go, it's focused now. Some of you might remember that I bent the other header. This one's not bent because you can see right down that tube and out the other side. But yeah, the other one, we caught a manhole right on this very end, and it dug in the concrete around it and twisted this tube back to about here. That was on the other machine. Anyway, you could buy that frame, so it actually been repaired now by the dealership. We traded it in broken with an estimate to fix it for the insurance. So the insurance, rather than write the header off, just paid the cost of the repair, and then I swapped the machine at the same time, because that meant then that they've got all winter to repair it, and the deal was there, it added up. The combine hadn't lost any money in the time I'd had it in 2 seasons. The new ones had gone up slightly, but it was worth doing. I can't wait to use that spout because it's angleable. You have to remember to take the minion out of it as well. Is it a turtle? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Some ducks and a turtle.
Is it okay?
I think so, it's looking up. Ducks look a bit tatty though, don't they? Charlotte said the turtles bite. Got leaves on it. Still alive though, isn't it? Name that turtle. You only name after famous artists, don't you? There's a duck there. Can't see, but that duck just went right under the water and it's so clear you can still see it. The turtle's just like, what are they doing? There's a lot more trees than I thought there'd be. The mountains are just covered in them. That's the hotel there. And that's like a little ferry terminal that goes backwards and forwards across there. The scenery is absolutely amazing. Imagine living up there, looking out at that. It's fast, isn't it? Gone. This is the famous Lemon Roundabout. There's a beastie Porsche there as well. That's the same colour, I think, as my car. That was nearly expensive, wasn't it? They're just so common now. Park there and then hop on your boat. I'm on paddle boarding now. Even the flower beds here are like immaculately maintained, but I suppose they've got to look good next to the backdrop. You know, it's a big lake when it's got its own beach. And a helipad for next time we come. Would you call that a waterfall or just a stream? This is the view from the other direction. Wonder what that house is worth there. There's all the fish. It's a school of fish, is it? That is about all for today. The Northwest Air Ambulance have done the birthday bumper, so here it is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hello, my name's Emma. I'm doing the birthday bumper for Ollie today. I work at the Northwest Air Ambulance charity, so thank you so much for everybody that's donated for today's birthday bumper. Today we're doing it a little bit different on the side of our inflatable helicopter. So first of all, happy birthday to Sam Harrison. Then we've got Scott Winwood, who's 31 today. Happy birthday to you. Nettie Harris, get well soon. Happy birthday to Jonathan from Ella Harvey. Congrats 30 years service to George Sinclair at Findon Farm. Nina Tant, the most beautiful girl in the world. Happy 28th birthday to Scott Ball. Thomas Wally, happy 14th birthday to you. And Finley, happy birthday to you. Finley Green. Happy 40th birthday to Gareth Barlow Williams. And a big happy 6th birthday to Oakley. Lots of love from your mum, dad, Nikita and Dexter.